Good morning. Inizio massimo, inizio simply, or 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 simply. David, it's David 1 It's January 11th, 2020. So read more than 10 days of this January 2025, it's Saturday. In Naples, tanti totally cloudy, cloudy sky, atmosphere in general, tutto si manifesta. It's early afternoon, probably 13 and 12, 60 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius, and this means that it's really cold, actually, this is below this, and cold is classical situazione, usually for the fact that winter period since the start of 3 years ago. As perhaps someone who remember, think Napoleon, or watching years, I suppose, I'm sure. To see and to remember this thing for the same. Let's also say that at the same time it's my purpose of that people shouldn't watch my videos. It's better, I know, perhaps it's paradox, but not for me. And I didn't know to do anti-collaboration. Also for the summer and spring and autumn. In fact, for the spring and autumn, also the adjective is offered. Or for the summer, the adjective is hot, so not as and I did not regard the Greece at least for me was I think it was absolutely incomplete. Yes, even if obviously it's cold because we enter in the winter fux, in particular in the States it's really cold. At the same time, thanks to a method, better 2 points inspired by a method, the Wim Hof method is a Dutch athlete I follow since some years. These 2 points are conosceva if not treated to wear as electric clothing as possible. However, thanks to these 2 points, I always try to fight the cold since some years, and for this I feel it less than other people. So, thanks to this point, but also in general, from a general point of view for the Greece in general, in fact, apart from last year, in past years, I didn't notice, remember, winter, the first part of winter with this Greece, so thanks to these 2 aspects. The fact that I tried to find the cold thanks to these 2 points, and the Greece in general, for me, the temperature is good, and the condition, situation in general is good. I don't know if also for people feel the same sensation, judgment also for me about this. From what I think of not, because it's a bit impossible, for example, the fact of cold showers, in fact, a bit impossible. People generally do hot showers. However, I don't know, this depends on them. It's still a bad atmosphere, way, absolutely. I can say the same thing just for the videos. It's better at stessi mi fa crampi insomma il film così. Il Gary F. think at temperature fantasies. I repeat this just before 16 Fahrenheit, 16 Celsius. But l'important thing was atmosphere, it's anticipated. Se voi vedi yes, there is recruiting, when there is recruiting in general, as I may repeat it sometimes, you should see a most perfect, in fact, at least I suppose. However, in fact, I should not repeat totally what I read, and I think also according to what I read, and also considering the trend of these last days, we are going to a totally more obscure and dark atmosphere, and also to the rain, if not at the moments the rain, but as well as in the durante wizards, as you will see, and if it's clear, it's like screaming. Very clear. Band, so series, hanno abbiamo quindi delle nuove creazioni sono senza avanti tu pratica insomma 2 years fact this new in quote in quote this new recruiting because in fact we live them for 2 years and also this beautiful painter bench that also near me enemy but in general but for me better visible and sentire any shot at 70 million general shot. As regards the shooter, also behind the curtain, so not visible. Also, in case in general, invisible, better visible for me, it's sentire any shot. Also, in case, 70 million general shot. And finally, from my medical keeper, my GX 640, PG 625, also in case, 70 million general shot. Even, still people for general reports, it's like an indicator. So, my brother, my sister. Also, so myself, trust biscuits, and finally, I hope you will get breakfast. 2 days late in general, for me I think slightly late. So in fact, when I see literally whatever I mean for Mars, but the ball imports that was far from the regular reaction last summer now, so it's 3. It was a Saturday, in fact, on breakfast. The Fianten is from Livet. I started with the Fianten, in part number 3, as if to do years 3. Among other things, we see go, weeks ago, we passed the 1 year, and in fact, summer now, 2023. So I think that the record, this record, December 2023, so stretchable, very confess. This last week, so I went really close. In particular, this last yesterday and the previous Friday, I made it at respectively at 15 precise and 15 and 2 minutes, but not I assure you at 15 and 10. And so for this, in fact, I think that the record of the December 1963 is so searchable. Today, I repeat, today closes regard the record, slightly late as regard the mayors. However, it just rolling, obviously just rolling quote 13 and 12. But the important thing that should remember is that we also today, fortunately, so I'm really angry. And as we always say, breakfast was one of the most things left in the world. Absolutely. And since a few days, from the Sarah New Medical Shot to Sarah New Medical Beautiful Biscuits, this is the Palm breakfast. In particular, I recommend the Palm Siras. Spectacular. And so as in this milk, there is a new shot. You can see not only the coffee in it, obviously, but also the Nesquik chocolate. In fact, as you can notice, yes, the Nicolas breakfast in general always bomb, but this in particular, I think it's a mega bomb. And I repeat, I recommend this Italian Palm Series. They are very superb, spectacular, fantastic. Yes, you can understand. Also, tomorrow, I suppose, if I don't die. In fact, I don't know until tomorrow what will happen. Now I will see.